85% of poor people don't realize they're wasting money every day on things that seem harmless. Have you ever wondered why you keep working hard but never get rich? I used to be in that situation, working relentlessly but never saving a penny. Then I discovered the problem isn't income, it's your financial mindset. In this video, we'll expose 15 deadly mistakes that are stopping you from building wealth. And at the very end, I'll reveal the secret behind a small expense that's quietly killing your financial freedom. 1. Spending on luxury brands. One of the most common mistakes poor people make is becoming obsessed with luxury brands. It's a painful irony. Many who haven't yet achieved real wealth or built a strong financial foundation spend beyond their means on expensive clothes, shoes, watches, or cars, just to look successful in the eyes of others. Meanwhile, truly wealthy individuals like Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, or Bill Gates live incredibly simple lives. They choose practicality and long-term value over flashy labels. Take Buffett as a clear example. He still lives in a house he bought decades ago, drives an old car, and rarely wears anything extravagant. To him, financial freedom and long-term investment matter far more than appearances. Rich people don't throw money around to prove their worth. They let their assets speak for them. On the flip side, wasting money on luxury goods doesn't just rob you of valuable investment opportunities. It slows down your path to sustainable wealth. You might ask, what's the harm in buying a Gucci shirt or a Louis Vuitton bag? But here's the truth. If you have to go into debt for it, or if it costs more than 5–10% of your monthly income, you're not buying luxury. You're buying financial insecurity. Spending to impress offers a fleeting high, but the consequences can follow you for years. Instead, adopt a mindset of true wealth. Choose products based on quality, durability, and long-term value. Invest in yourself. Learn how to manage money, understand investing, and focus on building income-generating assets instead of chasing logos. Remember this: real, lasting wealth isn't about what you wear. It's about what you keep. 2. Buying a house too soon. One of the most damaging financial mistakes many people make is rushing to buy a house before they're truly ready, before they've built a stable financial foundation. For many, owning a home feels like the first step toward success. But in reality, it often drags them into a spiral of debt, making financial freedom even harder to reach. Warren Buffett, one of the wisest and wealthiest men alive, once said, "Don't buy a house just because you think it's what you're supposed to do. Buy a house when you're financially ready." Buffett himself has lived in the same modest house he bought back in 1958. He never chased luxury villas or flashy real estate to prove his wealth. Instead of pouring everything you have into a house the moment you have a little savings, follow a simple rule. Your total housing costs, including mortgage, taxes, and maintenance, should not exceed 25% of your monthly income. If owning that house means giving up every investment, every learning opportunity, every moment of rest, you're not buying an asset. You're buying exhaustion. Remember this: a wealthy mindset isn't about owning everything as fast as possible. It's about knowing when to slow down so you can move forward with strength. A house should never be a burden. It should be the reward for a journey built on solid financial ground. And if you're serious about lasting wealth, don't let social pressure trap you in the illusion of stability that's paid for with lifelong debt. 3. Subscriptions you never use. One of the silent thieves draining your wallet is monthly subscriptions that seem harmless at first. Countless people, especially those struggling financially and even many with decent incomes, don't realize how much they're spending each month on services like Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, learning apps, or digital magazines they barely use anymore. Here's the irony. You might be subscribed to 5 premium entertainment platforms, yet not have even a small emergency fund to fall back on when life throws you a curveball. Warren Buffett often reminds us, the wealthy don't let money quietly leak out on things they don't control. A few dollars a month may not seem like much, but if left unchecked, these small charges accumulate into a significant annual expense. This is one of the most overlooked forms of financial waste because it's silent, automatic, and invisible. If you want to build wealth, the first step isn't earning more, It's plugging every hole in your financial bucket. And subscriptions are one of those holes. The fix is simple. Review your bank and credit card statements from the last 3 months. List every recurring charge. Then ask yourself, do I really need this? If the answer is no, cancel it immediately. You can also use budgeting apps to automatically track and manage subscriptions more effectively. A wealthy mindset doesn't come from dramatic decisions. It's built through small, consistent actions. Saving just a few dozen dollars a month from unused subscriptions can be redirected into long-term investments, savings, or an emergency fund. The first real steps toward financial freedom. 4. Buying a brand new car. Buying a brand new car can feel like a reward, a symbol of success, comfort, and something you've truly earned after years of hard work. But for those trying to escape poverty or build lasting wealth, it's often one of the worst financial decisions they can make. The truth is, the moment you drive that car off the lot, it starts losing value. Statistics show that a new car typically depreciates by 20 to 30% in its first year alone, and by the fifth year, it can lose up to 60% of its original value. This isn't just theory. It's a reality even the wealthy acknowledge. Warren Buffett, a man known for his legendary financial discipline, drove an old Cadillac for years, even though he could afford any luxury car he wanted. For those with fragile finances, taking out massive loans just to own a car that impresses others is not a sign of success. It's a serious waste of money. Not only do you lose value the moment you buy, but you're also stuck paying higher interest and insurance on something that won't help your net worth grow. Instead of chasing the new car smell, consider buying a vehicle that's 2 or 3 years old, especially one that's come off a lease. These cars are often in excellent condition, run reliably, and have already taken the biggest depreciation hit. The money you save can go toward investments, paying off debt, or building a financial cushion, things that truly move you closer to freedom and peace of mind. In the journey to wealth, not everyone driving a luxury car is rich, and not everyone driving a used car is poor. Wealthy people understand that a car is a tool, not a trophy. What truly defines your status isn't the brand on your steering wheel, but how wisely you manage your money. 5. Credit card debt. There's a painful irony in how many people handle money. They'll pay 20 to 30% interest just to buy something that's 10% off. That's the trap of credit cards, a tool many see as convenient, but one that silently eats away at your finances day after day. Every time you swipe without paying the full balance on time, you're not just paying more in interest, you're locking yourself deeper into a cycle of debt that feels endless. And the most dangerous part? It creeps in quietly, making you believe you're managing your money just fine. Warren Buffett, a symbol of financial wisdom and discipline, once said, "High interest is the fastest way to move money from the pockets of the uneducated to those who understand the game." So many people stress over saving a few dollars, yet lose thousands every year to credit card interest. That's not building wealth. It's the fastest route to losing control. The solution is simple. If you can't pay your balance in full by the end of the month, stop using your credit card. Learn to spend real money, money you actually have, not borrowed money with a high price tag. Create a budget. Split your income into essentials, savings, and an emergency buffer. Use credit cards as a tool, not as a lifeline. Want financial freedom? Stop letting others charge interest on your impulsive decisions. Don't let a 30% discount on a jacket turn into a year-long debt. Remember this. The wealthy use credit cards to earn points and cash back. The poor use them to survive. 6. Reckless spending on expensive meals. In big cities, dining out has become more than just a habit. It's a lifestyle for many. After a long, exhausting day, grabbing food from a restaurant, ordering delivery, or catching up with friends at a trendy spot seems completely justified. But for those who are serious about building wealth, this is one of the most dangerous and difficult to control spending habits. In the U.S., the average person spends between $200 to $400 per month on eating out, a significant amount, especially for those in the working class. Here's the ironic twist. Poorer individuals often eat out more frequently than the wealthy. It may sound strange, but it comes down to mindset. People with shaky financial discipline tend to prioritize short-term convenience over long-term value. Meanwhile, wealthy individuals like Warren Buffett are known for their frugal eating habits. Buffett famously gets breakfast at McDonald's, spending less than $5. He understands that money shouldn't be wasted on things we can easily control, like our daily meals. If you eat out every weekend, spending $20 to $30 per meal, that adds up to thousands of dollars a year. Money that could be used to invest in index funds, learn a new skill, or build an emergency fund. And let's not forget the added costs: tips, drinks, transportation, and other hidden extras. Start by planning your weekly meals. Cook in batches, portion your food, and store it for later. It's a simple shift that saves you a substantial amount and gives you more control over your health and schedule. Of course, treating yourself or your family to a nice dinner out once in a while is absolutely fine. But set a clear budget for dining out, something like 10 to 15% of your monthly income. A wealthy mindset doesn't mean cutting out all joy. It means knowing where the limits are and what truly deserves your money. If you want to go far on your journey to financial freedom, don't let today's craving for convenience cost you tomorrow's opportunities. 7. Impulsive shopping. We live in an age where shopping has become almost too easy. No need to leave the house. No need to think twice. This convenience has turned impulse buying into a common habit, especially for those without a clear financial plan. You might think it's just a couple $100, no big deal. But add up all those little things over a month, and you'll be shocked at how much money slipped through your fingers on things you didn't truly need. Spending based on emotion is one of the biggest reasons many people struggle to build lasting wealth. They get swept up in flashy deals, limited time offer, buy one, get one final sale without ever asking themselves, do I really need this? In contrast, wealthy individuals like Warren Buffett approach spending with calm and clarity. They aren't easily swayed by ads or fleeting emotions. They understand that every financial decision made today directly impacts their ability to invest and gain financial freedom tomorrow. So how can you escape the trap of impulsive buying? Start with the 24-hour rule. Every time you feel the urge to buy something non-essential, wait at least a full day. That pause gives you space to think clearly, whether the item is truly necessary or just a reaction to a moment of emotion. Also, always make a shopping list before heading to the store or visiting an online retailer, and commit to sticking to it, no matter what. A wealthy mindset isn't about denying yourself everything. It's about mastering your emotions and putting long-term goals first. Every time you resist spending on something you don't need, you're not missing out. You're stepping closer to the financial stability you deserve. 8. Buying the latest tech you don't need. We live in the age of technology where every year brings a new iPhone, a sleeker laptop, or a smartwatch you're told you must have to stay relevant. But if you're serious about building real wealth, constantly upgrading your tech to chase trends is one of the most dangerous ways to waste your money and delay your journey to financial freedom. Many people, including those with modest or even decent incomes, spend thousands every year on a new phone, even when their current one works just fine. Why? Social pressure, the feeling of I deserve it, the illusion that upgrading equals progress. But that illusion falls apart if you're neglecting long-term investments, have no emergency fund, and haven't even begun to think seriously about financial independence. Meanwhile, wealthy people approach technology very differently. They upgrade only when necessary, when performance begins to impact their work, or when repairs cost more than the device is worth. For them, a phone is a tool, not a status symbol. Warren Buffett doesn't chase the latest models, and he's never been caught in the tech consumerism spiral. He knows those upgrades don't make him richer. Make a personal rule. Commit to using your tech devices for at least 3 years. Before you upgrade, ask yourself, does this old device still work? Is it actually slowing me down, or does it just feel outdated? The money you're about to spend on a new phone could be invested in an index fund or used to learn a skill that brings real, lasting returns. A wealthy mindset isn't about having the newest gadget. It's about getting the most out of what you already own. If you want lasting wealth, don't let your devices control your wallet. Let your financial plan lead the way. 9. Wasting money on pointless nights at the bar. On weekend nights, gathering with friends at a bar, clinking glasses over a few beers or cocktails feels like a well-earned reward after a stressful week. But what many don't realize is that these outings, when done regularly and without restraint, quietly drain your money, bit by bit. A single cocktail at a bar can cost dozens of dollars, while making the same drink at home costs less than a third of that. If you hit the bar even once a week, your monthly tab can easily climb into the hundreds, a sum that could be building wealth in an index fund instead. What's even more troubling is how often people with limited means use bar outings as a way to project a false sense of wealth or success. It becomes a symbol of status or self-reward, while in reality, it chips away at their financial foundation. Warren Buffett, famous for his frugality and clear-headed spending, would never waste hundreds of dollars a month just to drink in a noisy room. He understands that meaningful social experiences don't need to come with a high price tag. If you're serious about financial freedom, it's crucial to set limits on expensive social habits. That doesn't mean cutting out joy. It means changing how you enjoy it. Invite friends over. Cook together. Grab a few beers from the grocery store and have real conversations in a relaxed space. It costs less, connects more deeply, and keeps your financial goals intact. A wealthy mindset isn't about erasing all pleasures from your life. It's about knowing the difference between real value and just a high price. You deserve to enjoy life, just not at the cost of an empty bank account every weekend. 10. Spending to impress others. One of the deepest reasons many people stay poor is that they're more focused on looking rich than actually becoming rich. They spend money not to meet real needs, but to prove something, to show off with designer clothes, luxury cars, the latest phone, fancy restaurants, and carefully curated social media photos. It's all about projecting an image of success, even if behind that image lies financial instability. The irony is this: truly wealthy people have nothing to prove. Warren Buffett still lives in the modest house he bought in the 1950s, drives a regular car, eats McDonald's for breakfast, and never spends money just to appear successful. That's the essence of a wealthy mindset. They understand that real financial security matters far more than momentary admiration from strangers. Spending to impress is a sweet trap. It starts with an expensive pair of shoes for a special occasion, then a new phone just to keep up with friends, followed by a vacation for Instagram-worthy photos. Before you know it, you're living beyond your means, swiping credit cards to buy status, but really buying debt, stress, and long-term setbacks. This doesn't mean you should deny yourself all the beautiful things in life. It means learning to live below your means, to spend based on real value, not public perception. Instead of chasing appearances, focus on building assets, saving, investing, and laying the foundation for true, lasting financial freedom. 11. Hoping a lottery ticket will change your life. There's a habit that seems harmless on the surface, but keeps millions of people locked in poverty: buying lottery tickets and gambling with the hope of striking it rich overnight. Each ticket might cost just a couple of dollars. Each bet may seem small, but over time, these tiny expenses add up. Worse than the money lost is the mindset it feeds, the dangerous belief that luck will someday replace the need for financial discipline and smart planning. A wealthy mindset never relies on luck. Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire by playing the lottery. He built his fortune by reading daily, understanding businesses before investing, and patiently allowing his assets to grow over time. The rich build wealth through strategy. The poor, too often, spend money chasing fleeting hope. Let's do a simple calculation. If you spend $2 a day on lottery tickets, that's $60 a month, or $720 a year. It might not seem like much, but if you invested that money in an index fund with an average return of 10% a year, it could grow to over $1,867 in 10 years, more than triple your initial amount. That's the power of real investing, something a lottery ticket will never give you. Stop investing in luck. Instead of waiting for a lucky break, learn to take control. Track your spending, build a budget, and commit a fixed amount each month to long-term investments. This isn't just a smart financial move, it's an act of self-respect. You're no longer handing your future over to randomness. You're taking ownership of it. If you truly want financial freedom, it's time to say goodbye to the fantasy of overnight success. Real, lasting wealth doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline, knowledge, and the choices you make every single day. 12. Expensive beauty products and self-care services. Taking care of yourself is important, especially in today's world where appearance often feels like everything. But here's a truth that many avoid. Countless people spend hundreds, even thousands, every month on cosmetics, skincare, and spa treatments, while their savings account remains empty. This is the harsh reality many financially struggling individuals face. They prioritize how they look on the outside, while completely neglecting the health of their finances. Owning shelves of serums, creams, masks, and fancy skincare tools might make you feel like you're practicing self-love. But if you're chasing every new trend while failing to contribute consistently to an investment or savings plan, something is deeply off track. Financial waste doesn't always come from big purchases. It often leaks out in the form of half-used jars replaced by the next must-have product. Wealthy individuals, especially those with a true wealth mindset, always ask themselves, does this bring long-term value? They care about self-care, but they care even more about financial wellness. A glowing complexion won't help you retire early, but a healthy retirement account will. The solution isn't to stop taking care of yourself. It's to simplify and spend wisely. A basic skincare routine with 3 steps, cleanse, moisturize, and apply sunscreen, is more than enough for most people. Choose products that work for you, not ones that carry a luxury logo. If your finances aren't solid yet, don't fall for every trend. Instead of buying 5 serums, invest that money into your future, because sustainable wealth is the best skincare you can give your life. Financial freedom doesn't come from emotional spending. It comes from intentional decisions. Be the master of your money before you focus on appearances, because real beauty doesn't just shine from your skin, it radiates from the confidence of knowing you're moving in the right direction. 13. Fast food and mindless snacking. Many people think snacking is just a harmless little pleasure, something that couldn't possibly affect their financial situation. A bag of chips for a few dollars, a bubble tea every afternoon, a couple of sodas in the fridge, it all seems minor. But when added up, these seemingly innocent habits become one of the most common and costly forms of financial waste, especially among young people. And for those struggling financially or striving to build wealth, spending money on junk food doesn't just harm your health. It slowly eats away at your ability to save, invest, and grow. Here's a troubling paradox. People with less money often consume more fast food and processed snacks than the wealthy. Not because they don't know better, but because they believe eating healthy is expensive. In truth, it's often the opposite. A bag of carrots, a few bananas, or a handful of greens can cost less and benefit you far more than a pack of potato chips or sugary treats. And it's not just about the daily expense. Junk food comes with long-term costs. Medical bills, health complications like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Wealthy people don't eat that way. They understand the deep connection between health, productivity, and earning potential. Warren Buffett once said, "Your body is like a car. You only get one in your lifetime, so take care of it." That's why many of them choose simple, nutritious meals, not for show, but because they're thinking long-term. Start meal planning each week. Prioritize fresh food, prep healthy snacks in advance, and avoid reaching for junk when hunger strikes. Learn to read nutrition labels, and don't let flashy ads decide what goes into your body. A wealthy mindset begins with small choices in both money and health. If you truly want to pursue lasting wealth, start by investing in what helps you live longer, feel better, and think clearly every single day. 14. Reckless holiday spending. Holidays, from Christmas and New Year to birthdays and anniversaries, should be about connection, love, and meaningful moments. But for many, especially those struggling financially, these occasions turn into the most out-of-control spending periods of the year. Thousands are spent on gifts, parties, decorations, and travel, all driven by the belief that I need to show I care, or it's just once a year. And so, Every holiday becomes a cycle of financial excess, often followed by months of paying off debt. The sad irony is this: the less money people have, the more likely they are to overspend during the holidays as a way to compensate, to maintain pride, or to meet social expectations. Meanwhile, people with a wealthy mindset do the opposite. They plan ahead, set strict spending limits, and prioritize experiences and memories over material gifts. Warren Buffett wouldn't throw away thousands on luxury presents if it meant damaging his financial plan, because he understands that gifts should never come with the burden of debt. Set a clear budget for every holiday. Know exactly how much you can spend on gifts, food, travel, and entertainment. And do not go over it, no matter how tempting the sale might be. Consider giving handmade or personalized gifts. They often carry more emotional weight and cost far less. Most importantly, refocus your holidays on what they're truly meant for: togetherness, love, and lasting memories, not showing off or overspending. Financial freedom cannot exist alongside consumer debt, no matter how festive the excuse. If you truly want to build lasting wealth, learn to set boundaries, even in your happiest moments. 15. Living without a clear spending plan. There's a silent, dangerous kind of spending that sneaks into your life. Those tiny, everyday purchases you barely notice. A morning coffee, a midday snack, it's just a couple of dollars online orders. They seem harmless on their own, but when added up, they can quietly drain hundreds of dollars from your wallet each month. This is one of the most common and most dangerous forms of financial waste because it doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like nothing at all. Many people stuck in financial struggle make this mistake, thinking it's so cheap, why bother? But the truth is, the truly wealthy are the ones who pay attention to every dollar. Warren Buffett once said, "You don't have to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. Start by controlling the ordinary." And the most ordinary thing? Daily spending. If you're serious about building wealth, tracking your spending isn't optional, it's essential. You can't reach financial freedom if you don't even know where your money goes. That $5 coffee each morning, multiply it by 30 days. That's $150 a month. Money that could be building your future is being lost on things you won't even remember a week from now. The solution is simple. Start tracking every expense. Use free apps like Money Lover, Inab, or even a basic Excel sheet. At the end of each week, review everything you spent, not to feel guilty, but to understand yourself. When you know where your money goes, you'll know what to cut, what to keep, and how to prioritize what truly matters. A wealthy mindset begins with respecting every dollar, because every dollar you keep today is a brick in the foundation of the future you're trying to build. Don't let the small stuff steal your big dreams. All of these seemingly small habits you've just seen, from wasting money on non-essentials to living without control over your finances, are quietly destroying your path to financial freedom. The real question is, do you want your children to grow up in a life of lasting wealth, or continue the cycle of debt you're stuck in now? If you're ready to turn the page and embrace a wealth-driven mindset,